Here we are looking at the front of the project. The fireplace, you can see, is starting to form over there on the left. And this is the stainless steel doors are going to go in front of this hole in front of the grill. There they are, sticking out of the bottom of the grill cover down there. They're going to go right there. Two things worthy of note, or a few things, I guess. One, notice the top row here. Those are called soldiers. Actually, those are half soldiers because they're standing on end. Notice these bricks are all standing on end. That's laid just like a regular brick, only you stand it this way, put your mortar down, and then put a lot of mortar between them. So it's not that hard to lay. It's just a different style. This you can't lay bricks just over air. They have to have support. So this is called a lintel. This you can hear that's a metal angle iron. It basically lays from about there all the way to there, and it spans between the bricks, so the side bricks are holding up the middle bricks. That's a lintel. Here's the grill taken apart. It's a Weber Genesis. Notice I took the top out of it and the stainless steel doors. And over here is what it looks like. Stainless steel doors I had to mount in front. Used some mollies to get into the brick on top and bottom to give it some hinges. Other than that, just use the doors. The bathtub, what I call the bathtub, I don't think that's the proper name for it, but the this cast iron piece in the bottom, I measured it was 19 inches from front to back, and so I was just careful to make these bricks exactly 19 inches from here to here, so you can see that there's a little lip and the bathtub just sits right down in there. Now we're going to need tops on this, top on this side and on the other side. For that, I'm going to use actually some slate pieces cut to size. What I did was on the last row of bricks, I just put some screws in. These are all-weather screws. I just put them all the way around the edge here for the slate to lay on top of. And then notice the valves in this particular grill. The valves are 1, 2, 3 there. You're going to have to cut holes in the top of the slate for it to go in. And over on this side, just the screws, no holes for the gas grill. Here are the knobs that are going to go in. Knob, little trim rings. And here's the two pieces of slate I was talking about. That's a solid one. This is one I've already drilled out for the trim ring is going to go in like that, and then the knob is going to go in like that on top. And there it is all together. And the slates are in, and the knobs are in. All-purpose enhance and seal, whatever you can buy. It's basically stone sealer, because what will happen is you don't want the grease, popping out of here and soaking into this sandstone or slate. It's fairly absorbent stuff, so you put a good sealer on there to keep it from soaking in, and you can wash it off later. Okay, here we are inside the fireplace. This is called the firebox we're working on. It's made of fire bricks, which are, as you can see, a little bit different shape than regular bricks. Are also capable of handling fire, the heat of a fire. In addition to fire bricks, this is called fire clay or refractory mortar. It's this comes in a bucket pre-prepared, and you just, to put these bricks in, you just butter them, and kind of like we've buttered the ends of other bricks. But this stuff is easier to work with. It's nice, and it's almost like putty. It's nice and sticky, and it doesn't fall off the brick. And then you just drop this right in like this and squish it in. And then I'm not going to do this right now, but after I trim the mortar, and I'm going to have to tuck in a little more and so forth. You can see there's messy on the brick. The way you get that off is get a sponge. This is actually the way you lay ceramic tile also. You grout the tile and then you use a sponge to wipe that off nice and clean like that. And then do it several times to make sure there's no haze that dries on there. And that's how you lay fire brick. One other interesting point here, this next fire brick I'm laying out, I've drilled a hole with a carbide tip bit because I'm going to put a gas line in this fireplace. It's not going to be a gas log, but it's going to be a gas starter. It's easier than trying to use paper and kindling wood all the time. You can just have a gas line in there, hook it to a propane tank on the other side. Okay, so the firebox is now done. Notice it looks really tall. That's because the arch is going to come over here, and then there's a, I don't know, like a 8-inch to a foot section above. It's called the smoke chamber that you want to have above the opening. That helps when smoke rolls up slowly. It kind of gets caught up in the fire chamber and then gets sucked up the chimney. So you want a little bit of a higher firebox than it would appear from the outside. And then the chimney, let me show how this works. These are flue pipes. They're ceramic. You can see them from the top there. It's kind of a ceramic flue pipe. Sometimes people plant flowers in them. Here's another one over here. It's 2 feet tall. This is 13 by 13 square, typical size for a fireplace. And you get at the same place you buy Fireplace stuff, you'll have to find a Fireplace vendor. The same place you buy the fire brick, you can buy the flue pipes, and then you also buy these lintels, which you've seen that before on the other, remember there's a lintel on the grill side over here, and put that across, so then you can lay your chimney. Typically you put the chimney towards the back of the firebox. If you want to center it, you can. Then you'd need 2 lintels, but I put mine in the back and used 1. And then you cover these holes here with either fire brick or concrete block. I think I'm going to go ahead and use concrete block because these fire bricks would kind of fall through. There's not enough room. So just go with concrete blocks we have over here. And then seal that up really well with the refractory mortar whenever you have holes, so that the smoke goes up the chimney and not everywhere else out of the box. One thing I found out and wanted to correct it on the video, this domestic fireplace mortar is pre-mixed in the bucket. Bricklayers love it for repairs and so forth because they can just, grab it right out of the bucket, don't have to mix it, and off they go. The bad news is it's water soluble. Even after it's dried, if you get a good hard rain, it'll start to erode the mortar right out of the cracks. And I found that out I took a hose with the jet sprayer on it and just sprayed that mortar right out of the crack. And the way I'm going to repair this is I'm going to jet out some of that and then replace it with the good stuff, which for the most part this is going to stay dry under here anyway, so it's not too much of a problem up high, but I'll probably replace the mortar down low. But when you do this, make sure you get the kind that's not pre-mixed. Apparently the pre-mixed kind is all water soluble, whereas the kind that comes as a dust that you have to mix up is permanent. And that's the kind you want for outdoor fireplaces. The pre-mix is okay for indoor fireplaces, but don't use it outdoors.